In this video, I'll show you how to create the perfect light for your next sports graphic design inside of Photoshop. There are really 4 key elements that you have to follow in order to create the best light result. This is the exact framework that I use in all of my client projects, like designing matchday graphics for Bundesliga players, Premier League players. This is a new channel where I'll make some sports graphic design tutorials, so if you're interested in that, subscribe and like this video. If you're looking for some editing packs with textures, overlays, brushes, I have all of these available in my store. The link is in the description. Alright, let's get into Photoshop. So in this tutorial, I'll show you how to create these lights that are made here on Rafinha. This is a design I made about a month ago. Really the perfect example how to make really hard lighting around the player. And I'll show you step by step how you can create it on your own. So this is a new clean version without any lighting. First thing we gotta do is to change the color of the background. As you can see, it's a little bit too bluish. So I'll create a new adjustment layer, color balance, slight red a little bit and yellow and also some green. You see before it's very bluish, now it's more warm tones. For this tutorial I'll be making a strong green light from the right side of the player and strong red light coming from his left side. So first thing we gotta do is to create a hue and saturation layer, change it to green, increase the saturation. I think that's good. Now select the mask, click Command I or Control I if you're on Windows. Now if you want to increase or decrease the brush tool, you have to click Control plus Alt and left click, and if you slide it to the right you will increase it, if you slide it to the left you will decrease it. For this we'll set hardness to 0%. Flow will be around 3% as I have here. Opacity of course 100. Click X if you have black selected to flip it. And now we'll softly paint behind Rafinha. Not too much. Now the same thing to the other side. Create a new hue saturation layer. On the far left side or right side you have the red color. Increase the saturation to about 50 and again invert the mask and paint to the right side of the player softly here. Alright, next thing we gotta do is to create a solid color layer. Change it to our green color. It's more bluish, I think. Invert the mask and again 3%. Maybe I'll change it to 2% and paint softly, very softly here behind the player. Make sure the light is stronger near the edge of our composition. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Paint softly just in the corner. Alright, I think that's perfect. Create an exposure layer. Increase the exposure to around 1. Again, flip the mask and paint just in the corner on both sides. Now we have our light source done. What you can also do to make it more energetic, more powerful, inside my overlays and textures pack I can add some fire effects. Which one would be the best? I think this one could be good. I'll increase it. This is the thing that will really add to the vibe. Place it somewhere here, set it to screen mode. Just copy the masks we did earlier with the saturation layer and clip it to our fire. And now you have both the sparks, the fire. This is before, this is the after. So if you want the same effect, click the link in the description with all my packs textures, overlays I'll be using along with the tutorials. Alright, but for this tutorial I'll delete it because in the original I didn't use it. Now the second key element is the light on the player. First thing we gotta do also is to correct tone of the player. As you can see, he's a little too orange yellow compared to the background, so I'll increase blue, and now he's a little bit too red, so I'll decrease the red and increase green. So you can see before and after. This is a crucial point for every light you do. First thing, before adding all the layers, you have to make sure your player is dark enough. For this example, Rafinha is pretty dark, but I'll show you. You create brightness and contrast layer, clip it to the player and decrease brightness, something like that. So the first layer we're gonna use to make the light is the hue and saturation layer. We already did that here in the background, so you can just copy the layer, paste it above, clip it, and with Command backspace you can make the mask completely black. Now make sure your flow is about 2% and imagine how the light would shine on our player. So we're imagining the light is a little bit behind the player, so only the edge of Rafinha would get the highlights. So I'm gonna paint softly here, just on the edge, somewhere here. So I'll start with his face, as you can see. Now it's fading a little bit when it reaches the jawline. Now usually in designs also the nose of our player will get the light. So also I'll get some highlights on the nose. Okay, we have our face done. This is really what you need with the saturation layer. Now you're gonna paint on the shirt. Left leg is a little bit forward, so it also gets the green light from our left side. That's saturation layer done. Now I'm gonna add the solid color layer. We can just copy from the background light, and with this layer you're gonna paint only on the edge. So it's the light that it's the strongest, that it's the closest. So we're gonna paint really softly just around the edge of the player, just like that. On the jawline, really important. Here on the forehead, and also don't forget the nose. And now just apply it to the shirt, maybe softly here. And do the same thing on the left leg. Now, as you can see, it's looking already kinda realistic. For the red side, I'll just copy the same thing I did with green. So I'll speed up the process. All right, here's the red side and green side done. I'll move now to the Champions League ball. First thing we gotta do is to darken the ball a lot because it's really bright. And for this one, you just copy the two solid color layers, just paint only on the edge here and red on our right side. Make sure the saturation layers are below the solid color layers. I think this ball is too bright, so I'll decrease even more contrast and brightness. Alright, the last thing we gotta do is to add light to our grass. So for that I will copy the solid color layers, change it to black, and softly paint just on top of our grass. Now it's looking very bad right now, but I'm gonna double click on the layer, go to blending options, and holding Alt I will shift it to the right. So now it's looking all natural. Same thing with red, paint it softly, hold Alt and slide it a little bit to the right. Now I think it's all done. We can go to the last key element, which is the camera raw filter. So go to the top layer and hold Command, Alt, Shift and E. That will create a new layer with all the things we've already done. Right click the layer, convert to Smart Object, and go to Filter, Camera Raw Filter. And here there's no exact framework you have to follow every time. Change the settings, look what's working for your project. Click OK. Now last thing, on top of the whole composition, you're gonna add a exposure layer. Where is it? Here, exposure. Increase it to about 1. And now change flow to 1% and just paint highlights just on the edge of the player. Just really softly, make sure the hardness is set to 0. So here's the whole composition done. We've done our perfect lightning. Here's how it looked before the whole lightning, and this is how it looks now. So here's the full tutorial. Again, if you need some editing packs, overlays like I did here, fire effects, the link is in the description. And this is all for this tutorial. Make sure to subscribe and like, and I'll see you for the next video.